My roommate has a chronic case of selective hearing. When I mentioned loving phoenix trees, he told people I wanted to live with gay men. My stoic straight, a student desk partner Ethan deadpanned, then live with me. When I said I enjoyed peanuts, my roommate claimed I wanted to experience childbirth. Ethan immediately followed up with, then have babies with me. Dude, I'm male. How's that supposed to work? Overnight, the campus heartthrob became obsessed with marrying and starting a family with me. Yesterday's drunken kiss somehow changed the entire classroom dynamic today. Everyone's giving me these creepy knowing smiles, except Ethan. College doesn't technically have assigned seating, but Ethan's claimed the spot next to me since freshman orientation. He sat stiffly as always, frosty demeanor intact until I approached. Our eyes met with typical detachment as he wordlessly scooted his chair inward, creating my entry path. My butt barely touched the seat when Ethan proposed, let's get an off-campus apartment together. This from the human ice sculpture who barely acknowledges my existence beyond academic necessities? The bell interrupted my stunned silence. Ethan's famous for his classroom discipline. Last semester he abruptly stopped mid-sentence about his dad's death, leaving me mentally drafting condolences until break revealed he meant his father's abandoned durian diet. During independent problem solving, Ethan slid his scratch paper toward me with full solution steps. Unprecedented. The guy who treats lectures like sacred rituals just shared notes? Something's definitely off. At break, I cornered him. Why the sudden roommate proposal? Exam season's coming. Off-campus living improves study efficiency. I'll tutor you. That's not what I meant. Why me? You prefer this? Ethan's eyes narrowed. Ryan said you like living with gay men. Therefore, live with me. Ryan, my well-meaning but loose-lipped roommate, had some explaining to do. I dragged him into the hallway under the class's amused scrutiny. The truth emerged. Yesterday's conversation about my fondness for Chinese parasol trees, wutong, got misheard as wa I hanan tongju, I love living with gay men. My oblivious of course I do. Confirmation sealed this absurd misunderstanding. Ryan gulped water like a parched hamster. Swear I'll keep your secret, he vowed, completely missing the irony of having already broadcasted it campus-wide. I gave Ryan a look like he was an idiot. Why would I need to keep that a secret? Go ahead and tell whoever you want. Turns out I was the real fool here. How was I supposed to know he'd misinterpret it like that? Rolling my eyes hard, I felt anger clogging my chest. What's wrong with your ears? I said I like sycamore trees. What the hell kind of liking to live with gay guys was that? Ryan's eyes widened. He tilted his head thoughtfully. I saw you talking with Ethan earlier. What did he say? Was he making fun of you for being gay? No, nothing like that. Ethan wasn't that type of person. During the double period, everyone remained in the same classroom. My gaze drifted to the back of Ethan's head visible through the window. He wouldn't mock anyone for that. He just mentioned, wait a minute. My brain screeched to a halt. He said he's gay? After brushing Ryan off, I slumped at my desk, replaying the conversation. Should I ask Ethan directly? Had I misheard? Stoic Ethan having sexual preferences? I'd always assumed he was asexual, the type only interested in academics. This had to be sleep deprivation talking. My head still throbbed from last night's hangover and vomiting episode. A cool voice sliced through my thoughts. I researched several options. This one looked suitable. Without blinking, Ethan slid his phone toward me. I stared at the screen showing a bathroom with transparent glass walls. After swallowing hard, I managed, listen, Ethan, there's been a misunderstanding. Ryan misheard me earlier. His knuckles whitened around the phone case. You dislike gay men? No. You're really gay? Yes. I don't have anything against gay people. I simply don't like. Enough. Ethan cut me off, face darkening. He turned away sharply, clearly offended. Did he think I was homophobic? I needed to show I meant no harm. Prodding his arm with my pen, I tried appeasing him. Even if we won't be roommates, what about that tutoring offer? Was that real? Ethan's expression remained neutral, but his eyes flickered. Thrill. Stay after school. I'll teach you personally. Why was he staring at my lips while saying that? Despite his usual reticence, Ethan explained each problem with meticulous care, dissecting every answer choice logically. I found myself distracted by his long lashes brushing against focused eyes. So he likes guys. That explains why he always rejected those love letters from girls. All those chocolates they gave him ended up in my stomach anyway. I'd assumed he just hated sweets. After an hour of English lecture that left my head spinning, Ethan snapped his pen cap shut. Lucas, I was just about to pack my bag when he called my name. So you do like gay men, right? This felt like a trick question. Neither yes nor no seemed safe. I don't like or dislike them. I'm just saying I don't discriminate, but I wouldn't date a guy myself. There. Crystal clear, just a straight guy respecting LGBTQ+ folks. I get it now. I sighed in relief. Good. Ethan's eyes clouded with unreadable emotion as he declared solemnly, then let's get married. The campus heartthrob genius just said what? Marry me? Is he insane? I shook my head like a rattle. We're underage. Good. What's this marriage nonsense? I'm serious. I'll tutor you. We'll live together. Then get married overseas after graduation. My eyes bugged out. We're just regular desk mates. Same gender too. Since when did he catch marriage fever? Two guys getting married? I pulled an all-nighter researching same-sex marriage laws. Pick whichever country you prefer. You didn't sleep? Ethan slid his phone over, revealing a disturbingly detailed 32-page PowerPoint. My brain short-circuited. Ethan, you're misunderstanding something. He frowned at his screen. Impossible. I triple-checked these are all legal jurisdictions. Not that. I mumbled, staring dumbly at his perfect profile. I'm straight. I bolted before seeing his reaction. Backpack bouncing wildly. What even was that? A confession? Proposal? My mind blank. I shoved open the dorm door to find Ryan mid-text in our common area. He took one look at me and locked his phone. Why so late? You look like death. That bad? Worse than your hangover face yesterday. Yesterday's drinking? A thunderclap realization struck. My tongue tripped over itself. Last night, did you see who I kissed? You kissed someone? Ryan leaped up. You kissed my sister behind my back. No wonder I woke up on the floor. I groaned. Might not have been your sister. A dude? Please tell me it wasn't me. Ryan clutched imaginary pearls. Definitely not you. I stepped over your passed-out body on my way to the bathroom. The memory surfaced clearly, staggering over Ryan's prone form. Then colliding lips, first with someone in the hallway. My temples throbbed as I desperately tried to recall who that person could be. Was it actually Ethan like I suspected? You kissed a guy? How desperate are you? It was an accident. I tripped and lost my balance. Relax. Most guys wouldn't make a big deal about that. But what if it's not most guys? Ethan seemed particularly bothered. My scalp tingled, maybe I guessed right. Ryan's unpredictable thought process kicked in as he leaned against the doorframe. Seriously though, Lucas, what do you like? Sycamore trees. Come on. Besides your weird tree obsession. His Aquarius energy was showing. Maybe he wanted to make amends for earlier? I shrugged. Peanuts. I climbed into bed, anticipating apology snacks tomorrow. During classroom cleaning duty, Ethan and I got assigned window washing. I scrubbed with wet rags first while he followed up using crumpled test papers. The worst part came when we had to breathe on opposite sides of the glass to spot streaks. Every time I fogged a section, Ethan pressed his face against the same spot from inside. If not for the pain between us, our mouths would have collided. I tapped the glass, mouthing what? You doing? Cleaning. Why copy me? My side's dirty here too. He shadowed my every exhale. After yesterday's awkwardness, how could he act so normal? Didn't he care about the rejected proposal? When we went to rinse rags, Ethan snatched mine away at the sink. Cold water. I'll do it. My empty hands felt heavier than the silence between us. Do you want to get pregnant? My brain short-circuited. Who am I supposed to have kids with? Ethan's slender fingers wrung out 2 ragged dishcloths, his sleeves neatly rolled up with domestic precision. He glanced at me impassively. Then have them with me. How the hell can I get pregnant when I'm a guy? What kind of nonsense was this? Ethan froze, apparently stumped by this biological conundrum. I snatched the dishcloth from his hands and stormed off. Was this guy seriously considering marriage? Every time he mentioned cohabitation, weddings, or now procreation, he delivered it with deadpan sincerity, no trace of humor. And Ethan didn't know the first thing about joking. To prevent this madness from escalating, I started avoiding him. We're just classmates sharing a desk. I declared. 4 days afterward, whenever Ethan's lips parted to speak, I'd immediately faceplant onto my desk in fake slumber. Even when passing worksheets, I gingerly pinched the corner to avoid brushing his fingers. Ethan reluctantly tolerated my evasions. I thought I'd won. I was wrong. The sight of Ethan hauling luggage into our dorm from across the hall revealed his days of silence had been strategizing. What are you doing here? I finally broke my avoidance streak. He calmly unpacked, arranging possessions with military precision. Ryan and I swapped dorms. Now we're classmates, desk partners, and roommates. What? I asked. He agreed. Bullshit. Ryan was the social glue of our floor, especially with me. That motor mouth would have clung to me like duct tape. No way he'd abandon our room without protest. I called Ryan right in front of Ethan. Where are you? The cafeteria's chaos bled through the speakers. Lunch line, watch it? Buddy. What's up, Lucas? You actually agreed to switch dorms with Ethan? Oh that? Yeah. He promised me his foolproof TOEFL cram guide. Miss me already? Pork garlic sauce over rice. Extra spicy. Relax. I'll crash your place constantly, it's literally across the hall anyway. Hey, about that time you kissed. I hung up before he could finish. Ethan showed no reaction to Ryan's almost revelation. Convinced now. Whatever. If he wanted to room here, fine. It's not like this was about me. I'm here for you. Those 5 words pierced my skull. How did he make that sound both casual and earth-shattering? Was he telepathic? What do you mean for me? My hand instinctively shielded my backside as dread pooled in my gut. His gaze remained fixed on arranging textbooks. You're the reason I transferred dorms. I clenched my butt cheeks harder. You haven't been in great shape lately. With midterms coming up, living in the same dorm will make it easier to keep you accountable. Accountable for what? You asked me to tutor you, yet you keep rushing off after class. I was just avoiding another marriage proposal? Who could handle constant proposals about weddings and babies? He'd been monitoring me constantly during class. Every time the bell rang, he'd jab my arm with his pen until I woke up from my desk slumber. Avoiding what? Ethan paused for 2 seconds before asking hesitantly, Are you mad at me? What sane person wouldn't freak out if some guy suddenly started talking marriage and kids? I dragged my gaze up from the floorboards. Sunlight streaming through the windows illuminated Ethan's sharply defined features, his pressed lips, aquiline nose, and eyelashes fluttering against sunlight, bleached irises. Suddenly I understood King Joe's downfall. Matt, how could anyone stay angry looking at this masterpiece? I should be doing cartwheels. Of course not. Why would I be? As I turned to leave, fabric tugged at my shirt hem. Ethan leaned back in his wooden chair, pale eyes locking onto mine. Then I'll tutor you tonight. One-on-one. The problem wasn't him. My own pettiness needed adjusting. Returning to the dorm after dinner, I found Ethan freshly showered. A towel hung low on his hips revealed carved abs and water droplets trailing down his pecs, the entire package exuding raw masculinity. Sit. Shouldn't you put clothes on? You'll catch cold. Warm enough. Come sit closer. Our knees brushed as citrus-scented steam wafted from his damp skin. 30 minutes into our study session, other roommates trickled in. Since when does Lucas voluntarily study? Someone hooted. Ethan's tutoring you personally? Damn. Harper. Those abs could grate cheese. I risked another glance at the defined ridges beside me. Like what you see. Ethan's hand captured mine under the desk, pressing my palm against his heated abdomen. Touch them whenever you want. I jerked back like scalded, face burning nuclear. Lucas, you running a fever? RA asked. What? No. You're tomato red. Am I? Where's a mirror? Quit searching. Want me to grab the thermometer? No need. Ethan answered for me, then unexpectedly wrapped an arm around my head. Our foreheads pressed together, noses touching for several seconds before he released me. No fever. Since when do people check temperatures by head butting? The only person who ever did that to me was my mom when I was little. Our 2 remaining roommates stared in disbelief. The top student's fever check method is unconventional. One stammered. I thought you were going to headbutt Lucas to death. The other joked. Are you sure? I touched my flushed cheeks. My face feels hotter now. Ethan frowned and reached for me again. I ducked under his arm like a quarterback evading a tackle. Really? I'm fine. No more checks. I went to bed early, my head still swimming. When I woke, Ethan stood at my bunk holding breakfast. He hooked the takeout bag on my bed rail. They say you skip meals to sleep in. Not healthy. I'm used to it. You didn't have to. Didn't go out of my way. His textbook response came automatically. I always brush my teeth here after breakfast anyway. So this was valedictorian level discipline? After multiple failed refusals, I surrendered to his daily breakfast deliveries. I thrust my meal card at him. Use it. I have funds. Take it or I stop eating. He pocketed the card without further protest. Post-exam chaos erupted in the dorm hallway. Guys from across the hall barged in with playing cards, including Ryan who'd switched rooms. Our RA half-heartedly invited Ethan to join. Everyone knew the academic ace avoided such gatherings. But Ethan said without looking up from his desk. The poker game quickly escalated. Ryan slapped down 7 cards. Let's play King's Cup. None of that weak sauce, we need spicy dares. First round. My roommate drew the king card. We held our breath as he scanned the group. Numbers 1 and 4. The room exploded when Ryan revealed his 4 card. The loudmouth had trapped himself. Ryan was the buzz-cut dorm leader from across the hall. Amidst the collective gasps and our rowdy cheers of spicy, 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 and hot stuff, hot stuff, hot stuff, with chants of kiss, 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 rising, the king finally decreed, then Ryan and 4 shall share a kiss. The room erupted. Ryan, you were the one wanting extreme dares. Don't chicken out now. Yeah. Pucker up. Oh. Ryan groaned holy shit before grabbing the buzzcut dorm leader. Sorry, new roomie. Let's get this over with. A chair scraped as Ethan materialized between them. Deadpanning, I'm joining. Oh. Ethan's playing? Ryan froze mid-lean, eyes bugging out. Ethan calmly arranged his sleeves. This seems more entertaining than poker. Why wasn't I invited earlier? The crowd lost it. Ethan likes this stuff. Mr. Perfect's got a wild side. Wait, Ryan. Quit stalling. Do it. Amidst wolf whistles and oaths, Ryan planted one on the crimson-faced dorm leader whose neck now matched his tomato-red face. As the next round began, Ryan suggested choosing the new king between him and the dorm leader. Ethan proposed letting the king announce numbers before drawing cards. After rock, paper, scissors, Ryan won. I bit back laughter watching Ethan's overly serious posture. Who sits that properly during drinking games? Numbers 2 and 7. When I reached for a card, Ethan slid me one. You're too far. I drew for you. Thanks. He flipped his own card. I'm 7. The room exploded. Ethan, our resident ice prince, participating in a dare? Anticipation crackled like static. Ethan leaned closer, amber eyes glinting. What's your number, Lucas? Dread coiled in my gut as I peeled my card's corner. 2. Our numbers glowed under the dim light. What's the punishment? Someone cackled. Since Ethan's got those killer apps. Ryan's grin turned devious. How about Lucas lies on the bed while Ethan does 50 push-ups over him? Genius. Let's go. Oh. Ethan was already shrugging off his hoodie, defined torso gleaming under fairy lights. My throat went dry. What fresh hell was this? No need for push-ups or kissing anyone. I lay down smugly, freezing when Ethan lowered himself over me. His arms caged me against the mattress. Our faces so close that each push-up would press his features against mine. His expression remained impassive as he asked seriously. Ready? I'm starting now. What's there to prepare for? I turned my face away, cheeks burning. Just go. The spectators egged us on. Come on, Lucas. Look at Ethan properly. Ryan heckled. You can't cheat the punishment by avoiding eye contact. Yeah, look. Another voice joined. Where's the fun if you're just lying there? Not being a sore loser. Are you? Of course not. I forced myself to meet Ethan's gaze, catching the faintest smirk on his usually stoic face. The crowd's countdown pulsed in my ears as he began descending 50 reps, each time brushing his nose against mine before pushing back up. Suspiciously deliberate. By the end, my face burned crimson. Ethan casually announced dinner time, dispersing the crowd. Ryan invited me to the cafeteria, but Ethan intercepted us. How's my stamina? He asked nonchalantly. Top notch. Ethan's endurance is legendary. Ryan enthused, clapping my shoulder. Right, Lucas? Yeah. My dazed reply seemed to satisfy Ethan, who walked away with peculiar contentment. That game changed everything. Suddenly I noticed Ethan everywhere: classrooms, dorms, campus pathways. The alleged ice prince secretly fed strays near our residence hall, scowling when cats clawed his pristine white tees, yet returning daily with snacks. The supposed genius studied relentlessly in our shared dorm, textbooks spread across his bunk. Gradually I realized he wasn't some unapproachable prodigy. Beneath the quiet exterior lay someone endearing. Even his flaws felt human, like the powdered sugar dusting his shirt after he tossed me morning pastries. "Ethan's really got a soft spot for you," my roommate remarked as I devoured the man's latest sandwich offering. "If you were a girl, we'd think he's courting you." I choked mid-bite. Ethan swiveled his desk chair around. "Not courting," he stated calmly. Relief flooded me until Ryan asked, "Then why the special treatment?" Ethan's deadpan answer shattered the room. "Mom says future spouses should be well fed." The sandwich lodged in my throat as chaos erupted. "What?" we screamed in unison, coughs and disbelief ricocheting off dorm walls. Ethan simply returned to his homework, the ghost of a smile playing on his lips. "Damn it." Ethan shrugged casually. "We're getting married after graduation." I couldn't stomach another bite of the sandwich. Swallowing the lump in my throat, I retorted, "What did you say? Who agreed to marry you after graduation?" Ethan looked at me earnestly, disappointment coloring his tone. "What's wrong with me? This isn't about you being good enough." Heat flooded my cheeks as I pushed past my roommate's protests and fled the dorm. I needed space. After that day, my roommates avoided mentioning Ethan around me. He stopped pressing the issue too. Strangely enough, his tutoring before the standardized test actually worked. I passed the English exam. Someone even snapped a photo of me entering the testing center that ended up on the campus confession wall. Suddenly underclassmen started asking for my contact info. Though Ethan remained the undisputed campus heartthrob, his icy demeanor scared off most admirers. My approachable nature made me the new target. The more girls approached me, the darker Ethan's scowls became. I had zero interest in these girls, but Ethan only saw my polite smiles, not my rejections. When Amber, the ethereal beauty half the campus crushed on, summoned me from class, Ethan finally snapped. Amber claimed her friend wanted my number. After my third refusal that week, I returned to find Ethan's face thunderous. He cornered me after class. "Jaw tight. Why do you smile at them like that? It's basic courtesy." His knuckles whitened around his backpack strap. After agonizing silence, he blurted, "Is it because I can't conceive? What the hell? If I could have babies." His voice cracked. "Would you say yes then? Since when do I want kids? You told Ryan you like making life." The memory slammed into me, Ryan asking my preferences months ago. I said I like peanuts. Peanuts? I wheezed, clutching my chest. "I don't want to make life with anyone." Ethan's gloom instantly lifted. "Perfect. Let's get married. It's not about babies. I don't like you. Period." Passing students gasped. "They have a love child." I stormed away, fuming. After that disaster, Ethan finally stopped pursuing me. I told myself it didn't matter, he'd been distant before anyway. Turns out I'm a damn liar. He stopped responding to me, and the sadness crept back in. I'd been trying so hard to keep my disappointment in check, until the day he was moving out of the dorm. I sat on my bed pretending everything was fine, but this strange, aching emptiness kept splitting my chest open. Would I feel this way about any friend? Why hadn't I been this torn up when Ryan moved out last semester? Ryan, oblivious to whatever was happening between Ethan and me, elbowed into the room with his usual lack of tact. "Not tutoring Lucas anymore?" he teased, hefting a box of textbooks. I already covered everything he needed and gave him my notes. Ethan's gaze flickered up to meet mine briefly before dropping back to his packing. His voice softened almost imperceptibly. "If he has questions, he knows where to find me." He'd said it to Ryan, but we all knew those words were meant for me. Ever since he'd left our dorm, I'd been walking around with this constant hollow feeling, even though we still crossed paths in classes. I caught myself missing those afternoons when he'd sprawl shirtless on my bed explaining calculus problems, his stupidly perfect abs glinting in the sunlight as he accidentally flexed while reaching for my notebook. The worst part? I didn't even mind his obvious preening. Found it endearing. Actually, was I really? No, couldn't be. But then I'd remember that time during Truth, or Dare when he'd lost at beer pong and had to let me draw on his face with Sharpie. How his breath hitched when our fingers brushed. How my own face burned for hours afterward. You're blushing again, Ryan announced through a mouthful of pizza that evening. So's buzzcut dorm head. I shot back, gesturing at our crew cut RA currently reddening beside the vending machine. Ryan just shrugged, forever immune to embarrassment. As if summoned, buzzcut stormed in moments later and body-checked Ryan mid-move. No room changes, he barked, yanking the comforter from Ryan's arms. But I'm just returning to my original. Policy says no transfers after midterms. With Herculean strength, our RA dragged a flailing Ryan back down the hall by his collar, slamming their door with finality. Ethan stayed. I should have been relieved. Instead, I just felt deranged. We stopped talking entirely, yet I'd catch myself staring at the way his damp hair curled after showers, though now he always emerged fully pajamaed. The coward. During finals week, he cornered me with a physics textbook. Our roommates froze like meerkats sensing predators. Need help reviewing? He asked. All business. Yes. Good. His jaw tightened. For the record, I'm over whatever that was. The kiss? Consider it forgotten. For jaws hit the floor. What kiss? Oh God. That hazy night after the engineering mixer. April 3rd. Of course he'd remember the damn date. Before I could splutter excuses, Ryan burst in waving his phone. Yo. That jock from 3B got rejected by the bio freshman and started carving her initials into his. The room erupted into chaos. Ryan launched into dramatic reenactments while Ethan quietly slid my notebook closer, circling a thermodynamics equation with red pen. His finger brushed mine. Neither of us pulled away. That's so messed up. He thought she was into him. But turns out the junior girl never liked him at all. She straight up said she'd never had feelings. And who knew he'd take it so hard over something like this? Self-harm over a minor thing. I glanced sideways at Ethan. Would someone that intense do the same? The guy jumped straight from hello to marriage and babies. Later in the bathroom, I cornered Ethan alone. I've realized lately that I might actually have feelings for you too. Maybe we could take things slow. I expected him to light up, but his face stayed frosty. Lucas, he said, clutching his toiletry bucket. I don't cut myself. You don't have to say this stuff just to keep me from self-harming. It's unnecessary. He walked out, leaving me confused. Was I only saying this because of what Ryan said earlier? But no, every word felt true. Somewhere between his stupid dares and quiet study sessions, I'd actually started falling for Ethan. When Ethan got roped into the inter-dorm basketball tournament, 6'2" guys being rare on campus, I nearly ripped the first aid kit from my roommate's hands hearing he'd fallen. Shoving through the crowd, I found him leaning on another guy, ankle already swelling. You idiot, I hissed, spraying analgesic foam while ignoring the whispers around us. For the next week, I became Ethan's personal nurse, even putting his socks on. He tried maintaining his usual icy demeanor, but I caught the smug little smirk when I knelt to tie his shoes. If you actually liked me, he said, watching me match our white athletic socks, you'd make a decent wife. I yanked the second sock onto my own foot. How's this look? Kinda gay. Matches mine. I accept. His eyebrows shot up. What? Being your wife? I've thought about it, not because I'm scared you'll hurt yourself, or pity, or whatever. When we do those stupid dares, my heart races. I catch myself watching you during lectures. I was secretly glad you never moved dorms. Today I sprinted here like my ass was on fire when you got hurt. Then, I like you. His lips pressed into a thin line, throat working. After 3 painfully silent breaths, he croaked we could adopt, since you like kids. Kids are the worst. Ryan's full of shit, that guy hears through his colon. Your call, wife. When Ryan demanded a free meal for playing Cupid through the dorm swap, I made him bring his buzzcut roommate along. At the restaurant, craving my favorite spicy noodles, I called Ryan with a last-minute request. Grab some zhuangyuan liangpi on your way. I want Ethan to try it. He showed up half an hour later, slamming a takeout container on the table. Here's your freaking aphrodisiac lamb trotters for Ethan. The entire restaurant turned as I lunged to muffle him. Ethan slowly pivoted toward me, smile sharpening. You think I need to make up for it? No, that's not. Ethan was already obediently gnawing on the lamb shank. Fine. I'll compensate. You'll see the results tonight. Don't. Just don't. That solemn smirk on Ethan's face made me genuinely worried I wouldn't be able to get out of bed tomorrow. Ryan, if you don't want those ears, donate them. One night later, I reopened the 32-page PowerPoint and nestled into Ethan's arms. Let's go to Saipan. That's the spot. April 3 RDIV liked Lucas for a long time but never dared show it. Before understanding his feelings, I could barely string 2 sentences together around him. But today, he tried to kiss me. He pretended to trip into my arms when I came out of the bathroom. Classic move from that sneaky bottom, same old tricks from this scheming zero. Too bad he only managed to brush his cheek against mine. Unacceptable. Let me help him out. I turned my head and kissed him properly. You're welcome. 'Cause I like you too.